What's up, everyone, and welcome to Car Audio Talk with Dean and Fernando. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
How was your weekend?
That was good. That was interesting.
Was it?
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't know. We went to the club.
Up in the club?
Up in the club. Danced a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah?
How was yours?
Mine was long.
Why?
Well, you know, I was getting the one day off. Haley had to go to the museum, so we had to go to the museum. Then we had a football party to go to. Even though I don't really like football, it's always fun to go to the party.
Right.
What's up, Andy? What's up, Craig? What's up, Chris?
Yes.
Anyway,
James.
So that was a busy day. Got to go see the Star Wars outfits, so that was kind of cool. Made for a lot of fun. All right, so a bit of maintenance real quick before we get going with the show. Just let us know where you're from. Say hi. How's the weather? Where you're at? You know, you guys know the drill. What's up, everybody? So, if you didn't catch the Saturday show, did you catch the Saturday show?
I think so, yes.
Okay. The Saturday show, we talked about the fact that we are going to start a podcast. So,
yes.
Yay. What's up, Ryan? What's up, Steve? How you doing?
Yep.
So we are going to start a podcast, and how it's going to work is this show right here is going to be the beta, so to speak. So a lot of people, you know, like the show,
yeah,
and it's a long show, so you know they want to watch it or listen to it. So we're going to start with this show being the beta for it, and then we're going to move into having its own podcast.
Yes.
So we're going to have it's going to be like Car Stereo Talk Q&A with Dean and Fernando. Will make a cool logo for it. And how it's going to work is it's going to be, we get tons of questions. Tons and tons of questions from you guys.
What's up, Jason?
And what's up? I'm in Portland. What's
wow.
up in Portland? There you go. Raining, of course. I know. What are the odds? And, of course, the screen is freezing.
Yeah.
So it's going to turn into a dedicated podcast. And then, so it's going to grow. Howdy from Dallas. All right, there we go. I think it's going to be one of those nights. So hopefully the audio will be good tonight. Anything you got to add?
No, that's it. Yeah.
All right. If anybody caught the little commercial we did earlier today, yeah, it's been a really rough Monday. A lot of stress today. It had nothing to do with car audio, though, and that's what made it fun, is that it was just...
Yep.
Sometimes Mondays just take a turn. But today, and Bill was supposed to be here today. Bill's the Kenwood
Rockford
audio control.
Yes.
He was going to be here today, but he's buying a new house. Congratulations to Bill.
Yeah. And
he had a home inspection tonight, and it was supposed to be in the morning, and it got kicked up till later in the afternoon. So I'll be kicking it off. And so he couldn't make it today. So we're going to do it next week with him. So hold all your questions on that till next week. Hey, from Australia.
Up,
nice shirt, Dean. Yes. And
yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I'll have to get with you tomorrow, Steve.
What's up, John?
Yeah, I'll tomorrow. Tomorrow's fine.
Okay.
Ron, thank you for watching. Ron is from Clear Impressions in North Cali.
Sweet.
Thank you.
What was I even talking about? Sorry about that. All right, so anyways, back to Monday. So Monday was just rough, and, you know, sometimes they are. Oh, and I dropped my phone yesterday and cracked my case. I know, right?
Time for a new case.
Time for a new case.
Yeah, so Bill probably is going to be next week.
He'll be here next week.
Okay,
so everyone has fun Mondays. But anyways, without further ado, today we have the owner of 5 Star, Paul.
Oh, thank you. No, I like my shirt.
Yeah, it's a cool shirt. So Paul's the owner of 5 Star. It's not me. It's not Fernando. We're just 2 installers doing our thing. So today, if you guys have questions about owning a business, today's the day to ask. Because, Paul, come on out.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Golf clap. Golf clap. Everyone clap at home. Give us a clap. Give us a clap. Hello from Fort Worth. What's going on?
Thumbs
Love
up.
the channel. Very fun. Thank you, Ben.
A lot of thumbs up. What's going on?
All right. So, let's start with some softballs. I'm going to shift this way a little bit so I'm in frame.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, Jesus. All right, is that better? All right, so now we have equal distance. Anyways, Paul, where are you from? For those of you that don't know, okay, originally he's from India. We got that. Where did 5 Star start?
5 Star started in Cleveland, Ohio.
That'd be a good place for Cleveland to be.
Yeah.
So, how how did Five Star start?
How did it start? Back in the early '80s, I didn't have Five Star, but it was my dad and my brother. They started it from a retail location after they lost their jobs. In the early '80s, there was a big recession, so they started. They opened up like an Indian grocery store. They did flea markets and stuff like that. So it just kind of like went from there. It's kind of just took off from there.
Yeah, everything is fine.
I know, it's driving me crazy here though.
I know.
Why is it doing that? Okay.
All right.
So it's just on our end.
Yeah.
It's glitching. All right. So someone on there said hi from Bob. Bob is your brother.
Bob's my brother.
Bob and you started a company.
Yep.
Called.
5-Star Car Stereo.
And then you guys started a second company.
American Bass.
So for all you guys that are big American Bass fans out there, you have him to blame. Him and his brother Bob. Bob is still up in Cleveland.
Yep. He does the American Bass. He does all the shows and.
So you separated yourself from them entirely.
Yep.
So
he did the wholesale side. I took over the retail side.
That OCD, Dean. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Thanks, David. I'm gonna save that one. All right. So, as we know, the weather sucks in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I'm from Michigan.
Yep.
And I know the weather sucks. So you said we're packing up the family.
Getting the hell out of there.
Getting the hell out of there. So here we are in Florida.
Yep. Been here for it'll be 9 years. We have the store in March.
Now, if in Ohio you were in a mall.
Yes. It started out not in the mall. It was outside location, but we went into the mall. We did like cell phones. We did the paging early in the beginning of the 90s. That's when the whole craze with the paging and the cell phone was really big. So
when you move from there to here,
mm-hmm.
you start in the mall too.
No, we opened this one up first. Then like a couple years later, my buddy from Ohio, he moved down here, and we started a location in the Tyrone Mall, and we that was open for like a year, and we just closed that down.
Disaster.
Yeah. It wasn't a disaster. It was just,
it was mall life.
The mall life, yeah. It was just crazy. It's too many hours, and he didn't want to do it anymore. So.
Yeah, because mall life is 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
What's up, Tony? Tony from the UK. What's up, buddy? Hi, Paul. So you moved to Florida with the hopes of retiring.
That was the plan.
That was the plan. How long did you stay retired?
A couple weeks.
And
I was
then,
still young. I was like 35, so I'm like, okay, find something else to do. But car audio, once it's in your blood, that's what I know, and that's you go to what you know. And being home was driving me crazy.
so the plan was to maybe start a new business.
Yeah, different kind of business. Yeah, but I didn't know, but
So naturally, if you're going to start a business, the first thing you want to do is scope out your competition.
Mm-hmm.
So you spent the first couple months.
Yep.
Doing what?
Going around looking at other shops. I even went to your AVE. I don't know if you even knew it. I don't think so.
I'd have been in the back anyways. Hey, Chris, what's going on? Wave to Chris.
What's up, Chris? So did your due diligence. Looked around, see what the competition was like, and I'm like, okay, give it a shot. If it didn't work, it didn't work. No big deal. So, had a 1-year lease, and it is what it is. You always things always worked out for me. So,
Timothy Williams, Polish good people, went to school with him.
What's that?
Timothy.
Oh yeah, what's up, Tim? How you doing? We went to school together.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you scoped out the competition,
mm-hmm.
and you said, damn, I can do better than this.
Yeah.
Let me bring in my Ohio 5-star mall rhetoric and show these guys how it's done.
Yeah, a lot of the shops when I went around, they didn't have the variety of product like I'm used to in Ohio. So, I brought that with me. I carried a lot of product like Pioneer, Kenwood, Alpine. We had JVC, just like a lot of product. A lot of the shops just had like 5-6 radios. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, there's no variety. So that's what I'm used to. You know, if you guys ever been here, you've seen our showroom. There's a lot of inventory and a lot of products. So if we don't have it, dude,
just ask it.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's in the back.
Yeah, it's in the back. Yeah.
Okay, so the idea was when you decided to open this up, though, it was not exactly the best of times.
No, it was
the economy was
tanking. Yeah, it was like 09.
Gas was almost $5 a gallon.
$4 or $5. Yeah.
Why would you take the chance to? Why would you take the chance?
You know, the economy it's always up and down. So like every 10 years you have a down, then it always goes up. So that was the best time to open it. When it was down, you got you got a good rate on like rent and everything else, all the fixtures and stuff like that. So, you know, it's part of business. You know, everything that goes down goes up. You know, I mean, look at the economy now. You know, right now Dow Jones was like 7,000 back then. Now it's like 26,000. I mean, it's crazy. So, you know, it is.
So basically, what you're saying is sometimes risk. You
you
have to risk.
You have to. Yeah, you
reward.
got to take a risk. If you don't take a risk, you know.
Now, Johnny wants to know. Go ahead.
No, okay. So Jason says, since you're ship nationwide, are you concerned about chargeback?
We ship nationwide, but we go through PayPal, so I haven't had any problems with chargebacks. Chargebacks, you know, those are a problem when you enter in the credit card on your terminal. That's a no-no. Never want to do that because, you know, you're putting yourself out there, and the person just can call and say, hey, I didn't make this charge, and you know, if you don't have it swiped, then you're screwed.
Gas is what,
$2.50.
$2.50 for regular, Tony.
Yeah.
Another customer.
Johnny
asked, have you ever been an installer?
No.
Never.
No.
Not even back in the day.
No.
Never walked into the bay.
Walked in the bay, yes, but never.
Never picked up a screwdriver.
No.
Why do you keep picking up mine then?
I'll screw some speakers in a box, but that's the extent of it.
What is the biggest product buy you have ever had to make? So basically, I'm guessing the question is, you know, you have to do buy-ins.
You have to do buy-ins every year, beginning of the year.
So each manufacturer is a little different.
Ask you for something.
So at Kenwood, you have to do.
Kenwood's probably they're probably the worst. You got to do like a certain amount of business with them to get the deep discounts, and if you don't, you lose out on you know just to get the best product, get the best price on the product. You got to do a big buy-in, but you do a buy-in. You know, once you buy the stuff, it's you have it for the year.
So it's more hard to deal with Kenwood.
Kenwood's probably the toughest.
Don't they make you do a 3-month buy-in?
Yeah, like a 3 to 5 month buy-in. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember in AVE when we would do big buy-ins. You know, $35,000, $50,000.
Yeah. Now it's more than that, but yeah.
All right, so there you go. So it's more than that.
Yeah, but they give you once you do the buy-in. It's not like, okay, you get the product and you have to pay for it like the next day. They give you like plenty, like 2.5 months to pay for it.
Some of them.
So every month, so basically you plan out your 6 months. So you order 15,000 one month, 15,000, 15,000. So they ship that stuff like on the 20th or the 25th of the month, like of the month. And then you have 75 days for that. When you get the product, you have 75 days to pay for it. Yeah, but it's still a lot of money. But you have to sell. You have to make your money back up within like 2 months to pay for the product. So it's not too bad if you're when you're moving the product. But yeah, it's a lot of money.
Just real quick, you guys are liters. We're gallons, so we're a little bit more as far as like a gallon is more than a liter.
Right.
So.
Beto say was Paul at the American-based booth at CES in 2009?
I was not 2009. I think I was there in 2011.
They all look the same.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So, all right. So as a small business owner, and like we're it as far as the staff goes. We have 3 employees, 2 installers, and Paul. That is always a concern. As far as when do you know how to add more employees?
Basically, when it's becoming too much work, you still want to you don't want to just hire somebody and just let them go like 3 or 4 months down the road. You want to make sure you have enough business where you can pay for that employee and make sure that person can work with your team, and that's important too. If you get a person that can't work with other people, you need to cut it.
Okay. Jesus, I was reading that and that was a good question. What did he say? I was like 3 or 4 back.
Is there a company?
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay.
All right. So obviously we buy direct on probably 98% of the stuff we do. The question is, what about third party? So, like, we buy, because we're Exelon dealers, we have to buy from Kenwood. Because we're Pioneer Limited Distribution, we have to buy from Pioneer. But those manufacturers all make non-versions of those radios, which would be bought through wholesale houses. Explain how... Can you give like an overview on how that works?
Okay, so basically, if you buy, if we buy direct, we're getting the best deal on the product. If you buy from like a distributor, they're the middleman, so they're gonna tack on their 10-15%.
What's up, John?
Hi, John.
Okay.
What's up, John? So they are, when you buy through a distributor, you don't have to buy as much, but you just plan on paying a little bit more than if you buy direct. But a lot of these manufacturers, when you buy direct, you have to make a commitment. You can't just do like, you can't just like pick and choose your product. You got to support their whole line, and you have to do a minimum in a year in order for them to keep you on board. I mean, they want you to do at least $40,000-$50,000 worth of business for them for it to be worth it on their while to keep you on and service your account. So you can't just not everybody can go direct. You got to support their product, and it's like they don't want to, even if it's just like a $10,000 worth of business you're doing a year, that's not really worth it to them. You're better off just buying from a distributor and just buy slowly, and you don't have to buy as much.
Okay, works. What do you got for me, Fernando?
All right, so Dustin say, you say you started the business during the recession. Yeah. And have you seen sales grow, signs having no rise in sales or decline? Yeah,
when you first open up, obviously, not everybody, nobody knows you're here. You build up a clientele, you word of mouth and stuff like that. So, yeah, it really took about like 10 months to like a year,
which is
to get like consistent business.
Which is really good here, because in our area, there's, at the time when you opened,
there were more shops.
There was like 6 or 8 shops.
Yeah.
I mean, they were on every street corner. And then, of course, because of the recession, it kind of whittled them down to what we have now, which is like 4 or 5 still.
4 or 5 shops, yeah.
All right. JD fella say, Paul, was Dean and Fernando your first employees?
Besides my wife, yeah.
Here in
Florida, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you were at the mall, you had...
Matt.
But, I mean, you had several
guys. In Ohio? Yeah. I had, like, we used to be crazy busy up there. And we used to have, like, at one time, we probably had, like, 10 employees at one time.
Oh. Now, the question that everyone always asks is, I remember you were just a retail shop selling product. Yes, Dan. Thank you. Yeah, okay, so, all right, so I was going to go someplace else. We'll take Dan's point. So when you first open the business, you've never been an installer. You are a salesman, straight-up salesman. You bought this location, or you rented this location with the idea of just doing retail.
Yep.
How did that work out?
People wanted to get the stuff installed, and then I found a couple guys. I found a guy, Chris. He was an installer, and he had an off-site location, and I would send the work to him, and then another unit in the plaza became available, so I wanted to do the installs here because it was becoming a pain for the customers to drive to an off-site location to get it done. So that's where you came in and Fernando come in.
So would you get one more space in the shopping center? Would you add more
install bay
or show floor?
Yeah.
We don't really need more show floor per se. It's a matter of, how would you sum it up? I mean,
yeah, probably no need a like another showroom, probably like another bay or to.
I mean, we need another building at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we need like a bigger shop. But right now, it's like around this area, there is really not enough. There isn't anything that's available right now. So.
Yeah, because where we're at in this location, as they say, location.
Yeah.
And we have a great location.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just have.
I mean, there's like 70 to 80,000 cars like driving by here every day.
Yeah, so it just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so a lot of people always ask, and you read about it all the time as far as on forums, owners complaining about business, and the 12-volt industry is shrinking.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a gimme. We can all agree on that. But is it? And we know this isn't the '90s when everyone was just had funny money to deal with before the war on drugs. Not saying anything. So we realize it's shrinking, but is it expanding in different directions? Meaning, even though, I guess what I'm saying is there positive growth every year? Is it even worth doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, it's still, it pays the bills, and right now it's like, you're not selling a lot of hedge units, but CarPlay is big. Android Auto's huge right now because people want to put brand new technology in their cars that than their old 7-10 year old cars. They're keeping the cars, yeah. Even with the new cars, I mean, if anybody has a new car, you know how horrible it sounds. So people they're coming in with brand new cars and adding processors, amps, subs, and not so much the radio, but it's.
So Jason brought up an interesting point. He says not shrinking as much as changing direction.
Yeah.
You agree with that? Yeah. So in that direction is it's we still do a ton of head unit business.
Yeah.
Like it's retarded how much head units, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that it's silly how much head unit business we still do. And we talk about this often. Where do you okay. My thought is always, as long as the kit manufacturers such as Metra, Best Kit, Scosh are in business, we're going to have radios to put in. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that, yeah.
Did you ever think you'd sell a $500 dash kit?
I mean, not like 7-8 years ago, no. With these new cars, I mean, that's everything changes, yeah.
So Richard say, do you have a lot of customers who came in with the equipment brought in online? So does that hurt the business?
Yeah, obviously, you want to sell them the product, and you want to be able to warranty the product. We prefer, obviously, people get the product from us because our prices are better or just as same as online. And if you buy the product from us, I mean, we obviously give you the warranty, and if you have a problem with it, we take care of it. But if it's bought online, you have an issue with the product, then obviously, you have to deal with the online manufacturer. I mean, what do you call?
Yeah,
Amazon, and have that wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Okay, Thomas there is asking dealer work.
Yeah.
I know how I feel about dealer work.
Yeah.
How do you feel about dealer work?
Dealer work, I mean, it's it's like you gotta like these guys that work at these dealerships, these GMs, they want all they want is like kickbacks. All they want is kickbacks, and it's like whoever brought the donuts in last. That's who they want to do business with.
Well, and then of course getting paid.
Yeah, and getting paid. They want to pay you after 30 days, and you're lucky. And if you call them, and you got to hound for your money, and it's not worth it.
I mean,
some people make a career out of it, which is good. But for us, a lot of the car dealership, they have their own in-house aftermarket stuff. But we do a little bit here and there, but it's not something that we go out and pursue.
So, Ron say, how do you charge for the installs?
I mean, we charge. How do we charge for the installs?
I think what he's meaning by that, because some shops charge by the hour,
Yeah.
and some shops charge per item.
Yeah.
And then there's kind of the hybrid, which I
Yeah.
think is where we're at, which is depending
Yeah.
on the car,
Yeah.
we have a per item charge, but depending on the car, it may be more.
We always charge. I always charge for product per item, not per hour, because it's I think it's better this way because some people like, hey, this only should take you about an hour to put in, and then you're like, no, it takes 2 hours, and then you get into. But yeah, we just charge per item, so there's no issues.
There you go. Danny Torres say, okay, Paul. So what type of system do you have in your car?
Factory count.
Factory Alpine radio.
Okay, just to preface that with okay, let me give you a little bit of history on that. Okay, like I don't have a system in my car because I put systems all day long, and I'm just having a really hard time figuring out which system I want to do. It has nothing to do with that. Paul is the kind of guy that buys a car, and a car to him is a tool. It's a tool to put stuff in, to get to and from work, to get to and from wherever, and that's it. There's no joy brought in there other than the Sirius XM radio.
Point A to point
A to point B. He's not a car guy. He bought the car. When did you get your car?
14.
Okay.
14.
In 2014, he bought his Honda Pilot, and that car has not been washed since the day he got it, okay? It has never had a thing. Every now and then, Fernando will vacuum it out for him and clean off the goo on the armrest. But other than that, it is a pure tool. He is not like car guy. He looks at a car and goes, hey, I could probably fit about 6 or 8 boxes in the back of that. What do you think?
So what we think that was that you need a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's too into SUVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in an SUV. I got two kids, and
monsters. Okay. So what? All right.
Yeah. Let's see. How's the online pricing and purchasing affect the business? Oh, I think
not so much. Depending on the product, but it's getting better now. So where it's like our prices and online prices are pretty much about the same. So I mean, there's no really big benefit of buying it online anymore. So.
Well, I mean, it really comes down to the manufacturer too.
Yeah.
If a lot of manufacturers are trying to put value back in their product by straightening that up, because at the end of the day, you can buy as much product you want online, but going forward, these manufacturers have figured out that if there's no one there waving the flag, like us, then no one's gonna ever buy their products 5 years from now.
Yep.
Because we'll be gone.
Yep.
Yeah. So
a lot of people that they still want to touch. They still want to touch these radios. They want to play with them. So that's why the people come in and they see and they come in and play with the radio, and some people see value in that and they'll buy from us even if they pay a little bit more. But some people won't. But that's the
Well, I mean,
what it is.
You have to put value on talking to somebody. I mean, it's
customer service.
Yeah. It's customer service. Yeah. It's question and answer and. I mean, we won't go into my whole theory on customers because I think we've done that before.
Okay, so somebody say, why you don't push American base?
American base?
Yeah.
I mean, it's we have some of it here. It's just really expensive to ship it from Ohio to down here, so we deal with somebody else down here, which is local, and they bring it to us, and it just comes down to cost, like shipping and cost and stuff. So.
And basically, what that means is family is not always going to give you the best deal.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's just it is what it is. I mean, if somebody wants it, I'll order it.
Because we have it. I mean, we have American base. Yeah.
Can you recommend an installer in Vegas? Isn't that Performance in Vegas? Isn't that the guy? Performance. Yeah, installer of the year. What's his name? In Vegas.
Matty?
No. In Vegas, that's a Performance Car Audio or something like that.
Scar Audio. Holmes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Scar is local, so
Yeah.
we go with that. So sometimes you know, and there again, that the products are very similar. So you go with, you know, the ones you can obviously make more money on, I would think.
Yeah.
And you know, because at the end of the day, you still have to make money.
Okay, so Steven say...
John Webb.
Yeah, John Webb.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not saying you guys, but a lot of stores have a huge charge that why they don't buy from stores.
It just comes down to, you know, if you can find a deal in your city, if you look hard enough, you can find a deal. You know, yes, it does depend on the shop.
Well, the other thing too is that I mean, some guys are it's baked in their head, if they don't make MAP, then they're losing money. You know, the manufacturer comes in and they says, you can make 35 points on this. If you're not making 35 points, you're just throwing money away. And so a guy walks into the store and you hit him with 35 points, and it might be 20 points online.
Yeah.
And points are the percentage of profit.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're not willing to just take a hit of 15 points to make some money, you're like, no, I'm losing money because the manufacturer told me I'm losing money. That's where a lot of that comes from, I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you know, you have to be flexible. You know, sometimes, you know, people come in with online prices, and, you know, sometimes we can match it, sometimes we can't. We tell them up front, hey, you know what, get it online. I can't match it, and, you know, it is what it is.
The question, Dean Fernando, do you guys benefit from Dean Fernando's tool drawer? Yes, we do benefit from that. That's why on that we don't actually put any products, like it's tools. It's the tools, and the profit we make from that is what allows us to buy more tools for us to talk about.
Yeah.
And it also helps for production on the show and all that fun stuff, because it costs me a fortune to make the YouTube channel. YouTube isn't free as much as they want to tell you, and they don't pay you crap. So Dean and Fernando's tool drawer came up. The idea was to put all the stuff that we talk about and use to help you guys have a nice, easy place to go to if you're like, wow, I really like that light you guys used. It's like, well, it's in Dean and Fernando's tool drawer. And when you buy it, you go to Amazon, you spend money there, and we get a kickback, a couple bucks here and there to help us pay for like GoPro batteries and new lights, because those lights don't last forever, as we found out, unfortunately. You know, or we give them away.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
Lights
so
under
you
the
know,
cars.
it's not cheap to be an installer, because you have to have your own tools to do this job. As much as store owners will help you out, like when Fernando first started here, he had a screwdriver and a pair of pliers. So we put together a kit that was like, okay, hey, listen, we're going to put together a kit of tools that you need to get you going, and then you can pay us back as time goes on, or you just say, hey, look, you're here for a year, you know, you've earned this as whatever. So as a store owner, like when Fernando first started, that was the conversation we had to have, was like, you know, what kind of tools do you have? I have a drill, I have a screwdriver, I have a pair of pliers, because they're, again, your previous employer.
Yeah, he provide everything, so in the end of the day, I don't have to buy nothing, but I like to buy my own tools also, so. But when I came here, Paul, actually, he told me, hey, don't worry, we ordered the stuff, and if you want, you can leave the tools, or you can pay me back.
So the nice thing, too, is you got to understand, and the reason why I'm a firm believer in the installer has to pay for his tools is because if you pay for your tools, then they're yours, and you're responsible for them. So, like, if I leave a pair of crimpers in the car, that's mine. I'm out the 30, 40 bucks. And you know, if the owner is doing it, you know, you're going to constantly be paying for tools. So you own the panel saw and the air compressor and the air compressor.
Those are heavy; they ain't going nowhere.
All right, yeah. So Danny say, hey Paul, so YouTube get more clients to your
why
shop?
is somebody angry? Why is somebody angry? No anger.
So YouTube channel actually get you more clients?
Yeah, it helps us a lot. We get like a lot more exposure as far as like national profile, and you know, believe it or not, we get a lot of people coming from out of state getting work done. So
there you go. That's for Johnny too. He actually said the business pick up since Dean and Fernando promote the business on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What's with the anger faces? Is that losing tools in cars? People all
Do I
bummed
need
out
to
about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Huh?
very
Do I need
much.
to leave?
Positive people, positive, happy thoughts. This is some flowers going across the screen.
Yes. You won't lose as many tools.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. The whole idea is if they're your tools, then you're responsible for them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sucks to lose them. And that was the funny thing about. There we go. We got some love. Thank you guys. Like in Saturday. What's his name? The guy that mailed us back the tool.
Yeah,
Dave.
Yeah.
So
Dave.
Fernando had accidentally left one of our Sabre magnetic lights underneath the back of a pickup truck, and the guy drove a half hour, 45 minutes home, parked in his garage, shut his garage, and the light was A, still attached to his car, and B, still on. So he's like, I have this light coming out from the bottom of my car. And we're like, oh crap. And so he actually mailed us back the light. I've never, in all these years of doing this, I've had people return stuff, but I've never had anyone mail back a tool. And I was so thankful that they did it, because those are $100 lights.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How much is a custom box? Okay, so when we do boxes, we've gone to prefab.
Mm-hmm.
And by prefab, I think prefab is a dirty word.
Yeah.
And for obvious reasons. Because it's not really prefab anymore. We buy A-Trend, and we buy...
High output boxes.
Now, okay, so we buy from Bright Star Car Audio.
Yep.
Okay, which is a local provider here that deliver them to us.
Yep.
They ship all over the country.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what that allows us to do is, for one, we don't have to build boxes.
Yep.
And two, if we need a custom box,
Yeah.
we can have them
Yeah.
build it for us.
It's just more cost effective. If you have the people to do it, then yes, do it. But these prefab boxes are just as good as like having somebody build the box. Spending a whole day on it.
So there you go. That's all right. So there's that. The other thing too is the bay. Every time we cut a box in the bay, it gets sawdust over everything, and it's horrible. I got my first call from Texas. He watched our vids. He wants me to build a box and ship it. It's expensive, Jason. Do it. Why not? I mean, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so where do you see the industry going? Like in a few years?
The industry, like we were talking about earlier, it's going to be more not head unit replacements. It's like the DSP is going to be huge.
Huge people.
Huge. And good quality speakers. And like we do tons of 5-channel amps, so tons of 5 channels.
Yes.
Yeah, we probably carry like about 15 different
That's
5-channel amps. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do a few a week, so I mean we do a lot.
Well, there you go, John. John's asking the question I ask all the time. Paul, can you say the prefab enclosures are as good as the custom boxes?
Like I said, it depends on which manufacturer you get. So obviously, custom boxes are. I'm not. That's better, but it's just more of a time thing for us. It's like I said, these prefab boxes that we buy.
Well,
That's what we have.
Well, I mean, we've had really good success. I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
we sell a ton of them.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we get very little. I mean, very little.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I mean, other than water damage,
Yeah.
how many boxes would you say we had come back last year?
One or two, not even maybe one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of it, too, comes to qualifying the subwoofer that you're going to put in the box.
Yep.
So, you're not going to put some VVX Scar Audios in a Q-Power 212 box.
No.
And we're just talking about for the normal guy. We're not talking about, for the heavy, like the bass head. Those, obviously, you got to get a custom box built because you're doing something custom. We're talking about day-to-day, everyday Joe. They just want to throw a little bass in there. We're talking about that guy. That's probably like about 75 to 80% of our business. So the bass head, yes, you got it. There's no way of getting around, building a box. So there you go.
Yes. Let's see. Awesome. I for sure order some things in the Dean and Fernando tool drawer to help you guys out.
So thank you.
Yeah. So many speakers out there.
Damon,
how to narrow down.
Give Sean
when you
a call
can
at Bright
listen.
Star Car Audio. He'll help you out with that.
So, Will.
So okay. Let's see. I totally missed the question. I understand your point. That's good. Okay, our nav tool video interface are good.
Yeah, nav tool. Not nav tool. No, I don't know.
Nav
Tool. I'm thinking of Nav TV.
Nav TV.
We use Nav TV. Nav tools.
That's a place out in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You buy at your own risk.
Not to say anything bad about
Yeah.
them, but if you ever saw the Italian Job when he was talking about the dog bite, why I don't do dogs, remember that? Yeah. Just replay that scene. It was in the airport, and they were talking about why he doesn't do dogs. That's what happened with Nav Tools and us. Okay, so let's change this up a little bit. Okay, so we obviously carry a ton of brands. Is there?
Yeah.
And if you say that brand with the 3 letters, I'm going to be really upset. Okay, is there any category of brand that you feel that we don't support enough, or that we would like to have, like where we could expand? I mean, obviously we have the 3 major radio manufacturers. We have 2 of the 3 major amplifier manufacturers. We have 2 huge elite speaker manufacturers. We carry Best Kits. We carry Metra. We carry Maestro.
Yep.
Where is it that you feel we could move more, or you understand what I'm trying to get at? Where we're not, like, where do we have room that we could actually move another product into?
You mean like a new product?
Yeah.
Or new?
I mean, are we happy with what we have?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we have a pretty good mix of product.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, we have almost everything. So,
Yeah.
and why is that we have everything?
Variety, baby.
And you don't like to say no.
Yeah, we don't like to say no.
Yeah.
So basically, when we buy product, you know, like Pioneer, Kenwood, JVC, we
don't
support.
have JVC.
I'm sorry, not JVC.
Uh-huh.
Pioneer, Kenwood, Alpine. We support the whole line. So you know, we carry everything that they have.
Which doesn't always work out.
Yeah. But you know,
It's time. You're a patient guy.
yeah.
Patient guy. Okay. So, dash cams.
Yes.
Good one, Jason. Yes, dash cams. I feel that's going to be something to look forward to this year.
Yeah.
I know Pioneer's going to make theirs. We haven't had a lot of success with the Kenwood.
Yeah, I think dash cams, you know, people, you know, it's like, you know, online, you know, you can buy them for $20-$30. I don't think people put a lot of stock in it, but, you know, it's like, I don't think it's taken off yet, like it's, hopefully it will. But the Pioneer's getting in the game, so, you know, hopefully that'll bring us a little more sales on the dash cam side.
Alright.
Alright, before you go,
Yeah.
Dustin asked the question that people love asking us. Ever consider in jail audio? Now, we had a conversation about this last week or the week before last.
Yeah.
They just don't like us. Would you pretty much agree with that assessment? I mean, at the end of the day...
But there's, you know, I mean, there's a lot of dealers around our area that have jail, so it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of saturated, I think. It's like a lot of, there's like, probably like 3-4 dealers around us.
Yeah.
Within like 10 miles that probably have it.
And they only have JL and like a radio brand. You know, the
Pretty
reason
much,
why
yeah.
you want
They're more of like a boutique store, but, you know, if we get it, I mean, we bring in a lot more of their product and support the whole line. But, yeah. But we're happy with Rockford and Kicker, so, yeah, you know. It is
and audio control now is
audio control,
those
they're-
products are really expanding.
Yep.
What do you got, Fernando?
Alright, so Jamie, this is for you. Jamie say, I'm old school audiophile. I have a full top and Alpine system from 2002 and my 2002 Camaro SS.
Wow.
The Alpine is the ERA G320 DSP.
Yep.
The Alpine 900 flip out and dash DVD.
Yeah, IVE.
I want to stream on my deck, but was pre-HDMI.
Yeah.
Thanks to you videos about the Belkin Mercas.
Yep.
Okay,
So-
my setup is complete.
Oh, awesome. Well, yeah, and that. So that was a big thank you, and I appreciate that.
Yep.
All right. So now that we've done this YouTube thing, how many calls during the day are those kind of calls?
Probably half.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people calling from out of town, trying to get our advice from us. We try to help out as many people as we can. Sometimes we can't help everybody, but we do get a lot of calls from out of town, and we try to help everybody.
And that's why we're going to start the podcast, is so that we can try to get to more of those questions. Do you use Audio Frog, DD, MTX, Focal, Moscone, or Rainbow? Out of that, we use Focal.
Focal, yes.
Yeah, Focal we brought in. Wow, that's a ton. Focal we brought in, a year ago? 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was about a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half. Maybe, about a year and a half.
And that's been doing really well for us.
Yes.
And honestly, it came at just the right time because we were big with Hertz.
Yeah.
And Hertz is just kind of like they're changing.
Yeah.
and
it's a great product. Both are great
I love
products.
the Hertz.
Yeah.
I just the products that we were having success with, they're doing away with.
Focal, we brought it in because the
podcast iTunes. Yes.
Yeah. Focal, the dealer that had it, they weren't really supporting it. They closed down, and we were getting a lot of calls for it, so brought it in and took off ever since.
Yeah, we finally did some Focal Flax, and we were very excited with those.
Yep.
Podcast, what did I miss? At the opening of the show, we talked about we're going to start a podcast. The podcast is going to consist right off of the bat with this show here as being converted into just a listen-only podcast because the show is about an hour to an hour and 5 minutes long. Not everyone can sit in front of the TV, so we're going to convert that into a podcast so that you can listen. Because this is more a talky show anyways, so this would be great for a podcast. Once we figure out how all that works, we're going to actually turn it into a straight up, car audio talk question and answer with Dean Fernando, where we just take all the hundreds of questions that we get every week from YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, and we're going to convert that into probably an hour, 45 minutes to an hour long, where we just run through questions, answer them, and you guys can listen on your drives, your jogs, your whatever.
And yes, it's going to be on iTunes or the Android device.
Yeah, so we've signed up for the service. We paid the money. We bought the mic. Now it's just a matter of going through and figuring out how it all works. So we have all the tools to do it now. So we're just going to run with that, and we'll have a podcast. So I'm a big podcast guy. I like listening to podcasts. Mm-hmm. So I've always wanted to do one, and now that we have enough of you guys that are interested in it, it only seems like natural transition to move into something like a podcast.
Yep.
Because, even though we do 6 shows, it's never enough.
No.
I mean, it just seems like it's never enough.
Jason actually asked, you don't seem to sell much of the energy line.
Well, we do.
We do. We do pretty decent with it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that brings up, good question, Jason. That brings up an interesting point. Because we have so many products.
Yeah. So we just kind of pick and choose which cars and what kind of music people listen to, so,
So that comes down to the one thing is qualifying the customer.
Yep.
So you have to ask a lot of the times, because obviously with carrying as many brands as we do, we can't always have them out on display.
Yep.
Although we just moved a whole bunch of new stuff out on display so that we could play it. What are some of the questions you might ask people, Paul, as the head sales guy?
Just, what kind of music they listen to.
We covered that.
Yeah.
Keep going, man. Keep going.
I mean, you just got to feel people out. Work within their budget, really.
Okay, so budget's an interesting point. I'm not a sales guy by any stretch of the imagination. We know my sales skills are limited. I can answer a bunch of questions. And my thought is when I'm selling, I ask what they want, what they listen to. I take them over, I point them stuff, and then I hand them off to you and say, this is the stuff that we talked about, and I'm done. Now, do you feel like asking the customer beforehand, hey, how much you want to spend? Does that ever work?
Sometimes, if you ask them and some people won't tell you, but some people that will tell you, then you kind of walk them in towards some product. You can walk them in either
to the product
to the product that they're within their budget, really.
Yeah, so you feel it saves time.
Yeah.
All right. So Chris, he actually say, "Hey, I want to see the video on the 2017 F350 that you guys did."
I want to see the video
He
too.
drove from North Carolina. Any ideas when?
Okay, so we'll talk a little YouTube stuff real quick. So, in the past, what we did is we would just film the cars. They go into a daily folder, and then the folder, whenever the next day came up to edit, we'd go through there. So we had some form of a transit, like there was some form of like this is how the life is going, kind of like the TV shows do, where it's like tomorrow's tomorrow. So we don't jump around and like 1 minute you see the shop looks like this, the next minute you see the shop looks like that. Unfortunately, what that's done for us is that we can't keep doing it that way because a lot of people are coming here just for us to install and film their cars as a side benefit, and they want to see their cars. And then some people, of course, just the daily jobbers that we do, where it's just. So we're going to actually start to move these cars around so that we can get to some of the jobs like that sooner,
Yep.
and rather than later. So I don't get that one.
I don't get that one.
That's bad. Okay, I get it. All right. So the idea is to, and there again, it takes a lot of time. This whole thing it takes so again said nudes. Okay, it's a lot of time that and at the end of the day I only have so much of it. So that's going to happen. We're going to try to get some of those big jobs that we talk about out faster, and some of the smaller jobs get kicked out, and then they'll just be fun and exciting, install diaries. And we've been talking about that a lot. Right. It's just a matter of having the time to move stuff around. How do you guys feel about big box stores that sell and install car electronics? Well, the only one that I can think of is Best Buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jason answered that correctly by "we appreciate it."
Yep.
And why? Okay, how do you feel about it? I have my
Best
opinion.
Buy, I think it's great. I mean, they're just right down the road from us. They'll call us and they'll buy parts from us. They're not. I mean, they sell everything like washer, dryers, CDs, DVDs, and people stumble into their car audio department. And for the novice, yeah, that's cool. But if somebody's serious about their car, they're not going to go to Best Buy. Simple as that. If you're serious about it, you're not going to go into Best Buy because they only have like a limited amount of product that they sell, and yes, they're overpriced.
Thomas say, have you ever called the cops to someone that he don't want to leave from the store?
Oh, call the cops?
Yes.
What happened?
No.
Have you ever had to draw a call to the
To
cops?
get someone else?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Never had any issue like that.
Those are P315s over there behind Fernando.
P3 being you? What does that mean?
P3S being
P3S.
behind you. I think
Behind
it's
you.
behind you.
Behind
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what else? Anything you got?
Just the epicenter video. Everybody want an epicenter video?
We're probably going to start on that all right. So today was a really stressful day for me. Things are going to really get stressful more here in the next couple weeks. We're hoping to get that epicenter video out, but a lot of the free time we were going to have is going to be taken up by something else. So we'll hopefully get that out in the next couple weeks. I want to get it out. I want to get it out of my head because it's driving me crazy. So we'll try to get that out as quick as possible. We have a few radio videos that we're going to get out here in the next couple weeks. The 201 EX, the 395 Kenwood, because we want to get those out of the way now because they're available. Because we know here soon.
Yeah.
We'll have the 501, the 601, all those are coming.
Yes.
And they're going to be here soon. So
They haven't shipped yet, but yes.
they're going to be here soon, and we're going to have to start banking those videos and getting those all good. And as Jason likes to do so often, thanks for a great evening. Thanks for coming on, Paul. And thank you guys for coming out and enjoying the show. You guys had some great questions for Paul. That was wonderful. We'll try to get him on more later this year.
Yeah, that's quick.
Yeah, it goes by quick, man. It goes by quick.
Yeah.
Remember, next week is going to be... You guys have convinced Dean to start drinking. Remember, next week we're going to have Bill on. We'll talk about that more on the Saturday show. It's been a fun night, as always. If you guys need tools, as we talked about, dnftooldrawer.com. There's always a link down below if you watch it on YouTube. If you need shirts, you guys can find them at Teespring/store/5star. There again, links will be in the show notes if you find it on YouTube.
Don't forget Patreon.
Patreon people all get to go at the end of this video Tuesday nights on YouTube when the rebroadcast is. And we'll keep you guys informed about the podcast and when it is going to come out.
See you, Don.
You guys have a wonderful evening. As always, thank you so much for watching and being part of the fun that this is. I just started drinking. Good night and have a great week. We'll see you Saturday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.